Come, chickie.
The one thing about retirement is that you get to do whatever you want to, when you want to.
You want to come up here, chickie?
Charles Robinson likes to attend to his roosters,
Come, chickie. Nice chickie.
but it's only a small part of his day.
Uh-oh. There's one. Now that's the grub.
Most of his time is taken up in his garden, a 2-acre garden.
I think my first big-time plant was dahlias.
Charles worked in a bakery during high school, served his country after graduating, and worked for the San Diego Fire Department until 1980. In all that time, he's always been interested in plants.
My mother sent me to the store to buy some beans. It had rained that day, and I was stepping in all the mud puddles and all the water. And by the time I got up to the front of the house, to the sidewalk, well, I dropped that bag of beans.
Some of those beans found their way onto the dirt. Add a little rainwater, and several days later, those beans had started to sprout.
And I would dig those little beans up, and I'd plant them over on this side of the yard, and then I'd dig them up, and I'd plant them over on the other side. And from then on, I've always been fascinated with plants.
Charles now plants everything he can get his hands on.
Somebody asked me, he said, well, what do you specialize in? I said, well, I don't know. I got a lot of plants. He said, well, you got to specialize in something. So I said, well, how about staghorn ferns? And that's what this is here. That's a staghorn fern right there.
At first, he didn't quite know what to make of them.
As I began to study about it later on, well, I found out what causes a fern to be a fern. A fern is different from a lot of plants in that it does not have flowers. And the way it propagates is by its spores. And this brown patch on here is the spore patch.
That's something he likes to do, learn. And he likes to teach others. And he does that by being a part of the Master Gardeners program.
Master Gardener program started here in San Diego in 1983, and I was in the first class. And I've been Master Gardener ever since. They have us volunteer Master Gardeners. And so there's 2 of us in the morning and 2 of us in the evening, and we're answering the phone. Okay. When people call and they say, well, I've got this bugs on my plant, or what do I do? And they say, okay, well, we'll tell them what to do.
If you listen carefully, the 6-year-old still comes out in Charles's voice. And that's a good thing. He hopes he can inspire the kids that visit his garden.
Oh, giving him a haircut.
And we'd give them some cookies and some punch. We'd drink the punch out of a little plastic cup, but I'd punch a hole in it, and I'd have a pan over there with some potting mix. And then I say, you can put a seed in here. So they'd select seeds. And so they'd put those in their little pots, and they'd take them back to their class. And there would be their introduction to plants. And hopefully they'd have the same kind of experience that I had with starting a plant.
An experience that took root when he was a child and still blooms to this day.
They could make a little horn out of it.